single-sided clicks on this, they can watch it live if they wanted to, or it records it so later on someone can see it and watch it again. So I'll, if you really want, like if anyone's absent, I'll do it on a day. Last year I did it every day in anatomy because I had to sit on homebound the entire semester. But anyways, okay, so the only thing is they obviously can't see me. What they see is I'm screen sharing my screen so they see that and they can hear me. So when I'm like pointing to stuff up here, they're not going to be able to see that, obviously. But all right, Cody, this is for you. So there's 4 chambers, and you know what goes in those chambers? Blood. So when the heart contracts, what happens to the blood? It's moved, right, from the chamber to chamber or out, right? And when it relaxes, what happens to the chambers? They fill with blood, right? Okay, so think about the structure of the heart. It's made of muscle. It's really strong. It's got 4 chambers, and there's vessels coming in and out of it. And then the function of it is to do what? Move blood, pump blood throughout the body, right? Structure determines function. That's one example. Another example I'll talk about is over here is my skeleton. It's really pathetic and sad. He's like a little old man who lost his head. He's missing his mandible and his cranium. So, anyways, all right. Think about your bones, okay? Structure. They're really hard, okay? Do what?
The skull is connected to the arm bone.
Yeah, well. Right, yeah. They're hilarious. Okay. I need to stand over near you. It's like Dylan and Graham. You know Dylan Short and Graham?
Yes.
They're hilarious. They would send me the funniest emails. Anyway, so bones are really strong. They're really hard. At the microscopic level, they're stronger than steel, actually. The collagen fibers that make a lot of it up. And then there's mineral called hydroxyapatites that help make it really strong. Anyways, so think about the structure of bone, really strong, and think about the function. What's one of the functions of bone? Think about your skull. Imagine. Protection of the brain, okay? What's the function of your rib cage? Protects in here, what's in here, your lungs and your heart, okay? Yes, inside of your long bones, particularly your femur, they do undergo a process called hematopoiesis. They make your blood cells. So yeah, that's another function. Yeah. And then what else? What's attached to these guys? Okay. Muscles to help you do what? Move. Your muscles, your skeletal muscles are attached to your bones, and then they help you move. Actually, like locomotion, get up and walk around or eat or whatever. So structure determines function. Okay. So those are the examples I'll give. So that's sort of a theme in anatomy. Structure determines function. All right. Go that way. I won't do it long. All right. You learned about these in Bio 1. But I'm going to talk about them now to make sure you understand. I don't think these are on here. So the levels of organization starts with atoms. Atoms are the building blocks of matter, basically. Atoms combine together to form molecules. Good. Okay. Molecules. I lost my clicker again. Anybody happen to see it? I just walk around with it and take it clickers. Molecules are, what's an example of a molecule? Water. Water makes up 60 to 80% of your body. DNA is a molecule. Right? Carbohydrates are molecules. Okay? The macromolecules are the biomolecules we learned about last semester, proteins, nucleic acids, fats, lipids, and carbohydrates, yeah? Okay. This class is going to be, especially at the beginning, a lot of Bio 1 review. I sort of expect you to remember that stuff. I'm just saying. Okay, good. So molecules can combine together to form organelles. Organelles are little tiny functional units of cells. They perform a very specific function inside of a cell. An organelle by itself, is it alive? No. So if I stuck a nucleus on Stephen's desk, would the nucleus be alive? Yeah. It's not. Nucleus, all the specific organelles, if you place them randomly around the room, they would not constitute anything that is living. They're just the basic components of the cell. But you combine all the organelles together in a specific way, and you make a cell. The cell is the lowest level of organization that actually has all the characteristics of life. I don't know where it went. What happened to me? I was messing with this a lot this morning. Talking about Ebola.
I didn't say.
Here's chicken pot. Isn't that funny? This is a water bear. It's the only organism on the planet that can completely dehydrate, and you can hydrate it again and be living. Isn't that crazy? If I dehydrated you, I'd kill you.
It can live in states. It's one of the toughest living organisms ever. There
You
is.
can freeze them. You can do all kinds of stuff. Yeah.
I literally looked
Oh,
at,
the tardigrade.
there's like a whole site.
Yes, yes, I know. It's so fun. Oh, and we talked about Giardia this morning. Lots of diarrhea, the protus. Anyway.
So why do they have like their own special one for a resistant staphylococcus? Because you have it.
Do you want to know the story of why I have it?
Sure.
Have I not told y'all?
No.
Oh, okay. I guess I'll tell you. Most of these have stories behind them, and people have given them to me. All right, so the reason I have this one, MRSA, methicillin-resistant Staphylococcus aureus. Methicillin is an antibiotic you can use to treat Staphylococcus aureus as a skin infection. Hi, here you are, recording the class for you, but that's okay, I'll just keep doing it. Never mind, just have a seat.
There is no spell.
Anyway, okay, so one year I was teaching AP Bio, and I had a student named Mariah, and she came, and that was way back when the semester ended before the winter break. So we used to have final exams like before winter break, long ago. We were taking our AP Bio exam, the midterm final exam. She sits right here, and her left side of her face was all swollen, like right up here. And I was like, Mariah, what's wrong with you? You're okay? Like, she's like, I'm fine. I'm going to the doctor after school. I'm like, you just go to the nurse now. You look awful. And so she didn't come back. And her boyfriend came back and saw me. This was on like a Wednesday. He came back and saw me Friday, and she was like, she's in the hospital. She has MRSA in her face. And I was like, oh God. She ended up being fine and all that, and I let her take her exam later and all that. Anyway, so she ended up getting married to this dude. He was in the military, and he enlisted right when they graduated, and he was deployed, so they got married before.
Same boyfriend?
Yep. Yeah, they like had lots of PDA for my class before class every day. Kind of gross. Anyway, Mariah was very nice. But she went to like Minnesota or something to college and she's a teacher now, 7th grade science teacher. And she has a little girl that's the same age as my twin. Kind of strange. But anyway, he came back. The husband at this time came back the next year after he came back from deployment, and he brought me this. And he said, Mariah wanted me to give you this because she saw it somewhere that reminded her of you in your class. Why I have MRSA? No, my first one was E. coli. I got this at MIT.
It's a very terrible thing to have class remembered by.
Oh, well,
There's literally.
I'd love to be remembered by cancer.
Derby Pool gave me this one.
Like, look at that.
Ben Factor gave me the neurons. I have all kinds.
Like, just why?
Gonorrhea.
Why?
Thomas Agostini gave me that. I
Why?
know, it's because people buy them. I love them.
Like, literally, they have
It's a whole website.
categories of girlfriend, boyfriend. Yes, like, who would get that?
Teacher gifts, I know, it's crazy.
I wanna see what goes
They
under
bought me
that.
this. My herpes. Herpes.
He's a little too big to be
Yeah, but is that like a
It's just fun to say, your class, someone did it anyway. I have mono. We talked about mono this morning in my other class.
My sister gave us her fiance.
Here's mono. And
Wait,
one
you
time
gave
we
both
stirred this
her
around,
mono?
and I can say we all give each other mono. Okay.
Nice, Jess.
Anyway, so multitude of living things. Cells can vary widely in shape and size and function. Think about your liver cells and think about your cardiac muscle cells. They have very different functions, don't they? Do you know that all the cells in your body, you should know this, have all the same DNA, right?
Yes.
You all started from one cell. How in the world did the cells of your liver and the cells of your heart have the same DNA but do something very different?
Because they express different genes.
Yes, high five. Seriously, they do. They express different genes. And you learned about that last semester, yeah?
Yep.
Okay. some of the genes in your DNA in your heart cells will never, ever, ever be expressed again. Like it's useless now. It's highly methylated. You know what I mean? CH3 groups are added to it and basically turns it off. Proteins and things can't ever get in there to transcribe those genes, and so they're turned off forever and ever. Anyways, okay. Cells. You're hilarious. Yes, this is a gigantic one. Cells can form tissues, groups of cells. So a tissue is a group of cells that have a similar function. And there's 4 types of tissues. It's the basis of our next unit. Does anybody know what they are?
All right. Kleenex.
Thanks.
Nervous tissue. Muscle. Epithelial and connective. These are the 4 basic tissue types. Nervous tissue allows for generally means of rapid internal communication. Epithelial tissue is the coverings and linings of your body. Your skin. The covering body, like the external, I guess I should say. Epithelial tissue also lines your digestive tract and the inside of cavity. We'll talk about it. Muscle tissue provides movement. There's different types of muscle tissue. The cardiac muscle tissue is only for the contraction of the heart. Skeletal muscle is actually like moving your body. And there's smooth muscle tissue that is involuntary. I mean, you can't tell it what to do, it just does it. Smooth muscle tissue lines walls of hollow organs. For example, down your digestive tract. How in the world does food get from your stomach to your small intestine? It's because of the contraction of the smooth muscle. It's called peristalsis. You may have heard that word before?
No, I heard now.
You know what it said? Did you say it?
No, I didn't say
You said what?
I know that word. When it goes down, like slowly, like waves.
Yeah, that's peristalsis. Yeah, that's what it's called.
That's a Raven episode where she was supposed to be coming.
What?
But yes, the waves are like this. It's called peristalsis. We'll talk about it later. But you don't, thank God, you're not sitting there saying like, no food now. Like you don't have to think about it. It just goes. Thank God.
Now you are thinking that you have to manually think about breathing.
I know, seriously, your diaphragm is involuntary. Involuntary, actually.
Now you have to think about it.
That would be way too much to think about. Helps make your urine go out. Anyway. All right, connective tissue is basically supports and protects the body. Out of all the 4 tissue types, connective tissue is the most diverse. There's lots of different types. And you will really love me when we do our next unit because you get to see all these and recognize them under a microscope and they'll be on your test. Speaking of, we have to talk about your first quiz. Today, in just a second. Actually. All right, I will pause here. We need your 120, so now we're like, we need to go down the middle stairs, go all the way down, you know where the book room is. You need to have your ID and have to take it off. Please be quiet in the hallway. Yeah. Rapid internal communication. Yeah.
I will answer for you.
Here, I'll do it.
Leslie, do you give consent to see? You have to have people carrying your stuff.
Yeah, no.
Mine's just there.
You have to bring the child. The kids have to go experience anatomy.
So did you hear Mrs. Groban, the emo kid?
The egg has to be.
Yeah.
The egg has to
Oh, I had it written on the board. I'll do it. It's okay. Yeah. I'll do it.
Just the abstract check.
Mhm.
Okay.
That's awesome. Just making sure. I'll write it on that for you. Yeah.
Thank you.
Microbes, so you can find carriers.
What'd you call me?
Here, they said probably donate your side. You said it's crap.
You can't preserve hair.
You can. It's just what it is.
No, they just like.
No,
Microphone. No, they just like.
You can touch me on the arm. No one has to. You know what? That's no. Well, I was just a distraction.
Hey, listen, now that you have the textbook and you see how to use it. Online, on my Google site.
There's an online one?
Yeah, I'm gonna show you. If you go, you just click on Discovery Anatomy here. Click there. It says instructions on gaining access to the online textbook, whatever, are here. So the instructions might say for like my AP Bio class, but it works the same way. You just need to make sure, like Preston did it this morning and it worked. You have to just find access to that book. Try to do it tonight, okay? Or while you're in class today watching other people present, and make sure if you have trouble, just let me know and I'll show you what to do. But that way you don't have to, bring your book home all the time, or you don't have to bring it back. There'll be plenty of times I'm going to ask you to access certain pages in the book during class. If you have access to the online textbook, you don't have to keep bringing it to class all the time. Got it? Okay, that access code should work. It worked this morning. If it stops working for one of you, I just have to request a different one, so let me know, okay? All right, so I'm going to finish this slide, and then I'll just pause so we can have our presentation. All right, so tissues, and then we move on to tissues combined together to form organs. So an organ is composed of at least two tissue types, and it has a very specific function in the body. Like the heart, the function of the heart specifically is to pump blood. The function of the lungs specifically is to take in air and then release the air. Okay, so organs combine together to form an organ system. An organ system is composed of all the organs, and all those organs together perform a common function in the body. So the function of the cardiovascular system, which includes the heart and the veins and the arteries and the capillaries, is to, we'll talk about it, but to distribute, you don't have to write this down, distribute, nutrients and oxygen to the body, and also to pick up waste products and put them to where they need to go. But all of them have to work together. So an organ system is a group of organs that work together to perform a common function for the body. My son is sick today, and my husband has a doctor with him right now. They've been there since 12:30. And they're still in the waiting room. And he said we haven't eaten lunch yet.
One of those worse.
Huh?
One of those worse.
I don't know. And he said that my son keeps farting and he has to
Crop dusting, baby.
Sounds pretty crappy.
Anyway, okay. There we go. And then we combine different organ systems together and we make an organism. An organism is the sum total of all the structural levels working together to make, in terms of us, we're humans. Now, in Bio 1, you went past that. Do you remember what was past organisms? Population and community, then ecosystem and all that fun stuff. We don't do that. We don't go past organism in here. So we're done for this. All right. So I will stop here. If we can finish the presentations by before the end of class, I'll keep going. But in the meantime, and Cody, so you didn't know, while you're working on presentations, you can start working on your homework. Your homework tonight, part of it is to complete this chart. We did it during class in first and second completely, but if y'all work diligently, you can finish this whole thing in class today. And then there's a little bit more homework I haven't put on my website yet. I haven't put it there yet. By the way, just some of you like to study things like well in advance, and I know that. I'm going to give you a quiz either next Wednesday or Thursday on page 13, figure 1.7. Looks like this. It's called regional terminology. All of the words on there you have to know. We will talk about these things probably tomorrow. Yes. But I just wanted to go ahead and show this to you so you can start preparing yourselves, okay? It'll be something similar to this. Okay. Just to keep you, like, I know y'all are like me and you freak out about things. Usually in most of our units, I have packets like this that are sort of like review-ish packets you'll work to complete in class. Notice in these packets there's lots of practice. So in terms of like what you just looked at, same kind of thing, okay, but you'll be able to practice like labeling stuff and all that. So anyway, so yeah, it'll be like that. It might not be the exact same pictures, but it'll be similar. I'll give these out to y'all tomorrow. But just wanted to point that out. It'll be either next Wednesday or Thursday. And I won't give you all of them, but it'll be about 20 of them, probably. But we will go over those probably tomorrow. Okay. Who wants to go first? Anybody else? They can flip a coin. I give my children a bath all at the same time. All three of them in the bath at the same time. We always like fight because who gets out first, and I flip a coin.
Wait, how do you flip a coin for 3 kids?
Well, usually one of them wants to go last, so the other two are the ones that want to go first.
No, it's the main one is fine.
Right. Actually, Marie usually ends up being last because she's the youngest. Right. All right, then I'll say, Soraya, you can go first. Yeah. Sure. Oh, I gotta stop this.